Hi, I'm Dr. Ethem İlbiz. I'm a Marie Curie Research Fellow at the University of South Wales in International Center for Policing and Security. This video is a research output of the 2X project, which is the acronym of the Uberization of Europol's cybercrime strategy. This project is funded by European Commission. In our latest publication, Professor Christian Kaunert and I examined the compatibility of Europol-associated global conference on criminal finances and cryptocurrencies. So, what is the starting point of this article? Since the rapid transformation in digital technologies, many law enforcement agencies lack the resources to cope with the new security challenges. One of these challenges is using cryptocurrencies for money laundering, which is often called crypto laundering. Since their invention, cryptocurrencies have had a disruptive impact on the global financial system. They are minted by non-governmental actors and transferred through a decentralized online network without any intermediaries, such as banks. Moreover, cryptocurrency encryption enables the financial obfuscation for users to hide their real identities. As a result, cryptocurrencies have become a new tool for crime groups to launder illegally obtained funds to avoid law enforcement agency investigations. The lack of human and technical resources of policing agencies created a new opportunity for the private sector. In that sense, new private sector initiatives emerged to offer policing departments cryptocurrency tracing and intelligence analysis. Interconnecting private sector with law enforcement agencies has become vital for efficiently use scarce public-private sector resources to tackle crypto laundering. In this respect, Europol is the first policing agency to declare that they have adopted sharing economy as a new public-private partnership model to tackle cyber threats. One of their platforms based in sharing economy is cryptocurrency conferences organized by Europol, Interpol, and Basel Institute of Governance. According to Europol documents, the platform aims to be a gathering site where public and private actors share their expertise and build a network to tackle crypto laundering. Although sharing economy is a popular topic in many scientific disciplines, only a handful of studies have examined sharing economy in public governance. In this limited literature, opportunities and challenges associated with sharing economy for public sector and the different roles the public sector may play within sharing economy platforms have been systematically conceptualized. However, in this literature, we know little about to what extent online sharing economy platforms governed by public administrations comply with this theoretical concept. Based on the knowledge gap in this literature, the article you will find at the below link examines to what extent does the Europol-associated Global Conference on Cryptocurrencies comply with sharing economy principles to facilitate knowledge sharing and building a professional network in crypto laundering struggle. So what was our data collection method? We relied on three data sources to conduct this research. These are a semi-structured interview conducted with an expert, publicly available Europol documents, and structured participation observation of 5th Global Conference on Criminal Finances and Cryptocurrencies held on 7th December 2021. To scale the compatibility of cryptocurrency initiative according to sharing economy principles, three parameters, fully, partial, and no equivalent, have been identified in this article. Full compliance means conforming all three sharing economy principles. Partial compliance corresponds to fulfilling at least one but no more than two criteria. The no equivalent implies an absence of sharing economy principles. For those who are unfamiliar with the sharing economy concept, it can simply be identified as sharing underutilized or scarce resources with others through an online platform for money or altruistic reasons. For an efficient sharing economy platform, three major factors are essential. These are, first, it should provide a low barrier accessibility, such as using online application or websites. Second, online accessibility and matchmaking mechanisms reduce transaction costs for platform members. which are all costs associated with searching, contacting, and contracting. Third, robust trust building mechanisms are necessary to eliminate uncertainties for platform members. Most common trust building tools in sharing economy are vetting, regulation, and rating. So, based on this research structure, what are our findings? In terms of low barrier accessibility, private companies operating illegally, violating anti-money laundering rules, and having a bad reputation in the industry are not invited to the conference because their participation would jeopardize the ongoing investigations. Moreover, some policing agencies are not invited to the event if trust issues exist between these countries and the organizers. The higher barrier entry to the conference is also linked with the limited space for the participation. Nevertheless, as long as high barrier entry remains, knowledge exchange and networking opportunities will stay limited between public and private actors. Some companies which remain in the gray area that their operations are not illegal but legitimate can be very helpful for policing agencies in their investigation. Unfortunately, these companies are left out of the platform until a low barrier entry is provided. Regarding the transaction cost, the conference has no more modern matchmaking mechanism that accelerates the transaction cost reduction for law enforcement agencies and private industry. Even though platform is far behind these non-governmental examples for developing an innovative matchmaking mechanism, its traditional methods still reduce the transaction cost for all parties. For instance, public and private actors contact each other following the conference by their email, sharing in the conference presentations. The conference also helps private sector companies to promote their brand and make their name more visible in the policing market. As for policing agencies, conference reduce the transaction cost while searching for an outsourcing partner in blockchain analytics. They find the opportunity to look for low-cost alternatives in the market. Unfortunately, the conference trust building mechanisms are not at the desired level to be defined as an excellent sharing economy platform. The conference organizers pursue an informal vetting mechanism to select participants, which undermines the inclusivity principles of the sharing platform. There are also no clear guidelines for the conference that regulates the interaction of public and private actors. Compared with other sharing platforms like Uber or Airbnb, the initiative has no rating feedback mechanism to build a reputational record for public and private actors. The addition of rating mechanism in that sense can motivate both public and private actors to engage more with their stakeholders to share their expertise and experience. In view of all empirical data, the Europol Associated Global Conference on Criminal Finances and Cryptocurrencies serves as a platform for public and private actors to exchange knowledge about crypto laundering and provides a network opportunity for all these actors. However, its compatibility with sharing economy is still partial. The reason for partial compliance is that the conference reduces the transaction cost for public-private partnerships. However, the conference doesn't provide a low barrier entry to all public and private actors due to the absence of robust trust building mechanisms. Although security concerns of Europol and its partners are reasonable not to jeopardize the policing investigations, it becomes harder to build an inclusive platform with a higher barrier entry. The increasing barrier to accessibility also hinders optimum resource sharing between policing agencies and private actors. Therefore, the conference needs some adjustments for inclusive and efficient resource sharing. So, what should be done to create a functional sharing economy platform to exchange knowledge in the crypto laundering context? The public authorities who are willing to create a platform but have security concerns about private sector participation should start their initiative by developing a robust trust building mechanism first. These mechanisms will undoubtedly clarify the eligibility criteria for outside actors and guide them on how to access the platform. The increasing number of public and private actors will definitely reduce the transaction cost of resource sharing for all platform participants. This platform model, in the end, will be a more sustainable solution for efficient public-private partnerships. By the end of this video, Professor Kaunert and I would like to thank you for watching this video. Please see the link given below if you want to read the article. This article is an open access publication and you can download it by clicking the link. If you are interested in educational programs about policing, counterterrorism, risk management, and cybersecurity, please see the University of South Wales website for more information and enrollment conditions. Thank you and goodbye.